Brandon back again here with BesusProductions.com, bringing you Video Dev Blog Volume 5. Progress has been a little slower than usual lately. That's why it's taken a little bit to get the next video dev blog. I think 2 weeks is about my usual gap, but few things have been added here, one of which I am very proud of. One of which, actually the one I'm going to show you first here, was something I put off doing for a while because I didn't think it was too important, but it's always secretly kind of bothered me, and I wanted to just get it done and out of the way here. And that would be Footstep Sounds. I read about a few ways to do Footstep Sounds, one of which they just said, you know, when the player's on an item with a specific tag, play the sound while they're walking on it. I did already have Footstep Sounds play, but I had the same footstep sound regardless of which surface you were on, although it did change how frequently it plays based off of the current walking speed, for example. So here I've actually gone ahead and implemented a texture-based solution. Instead of dealing with tags, I have enough tags here, as you can see. I don't want to have to tag everything in my scene with specific sound. It would also create a lot of issues for when I do use tags for appropriate gameplay elements. Plus, tags couldn't apply to terrain, so texture-based was the way to go. It was a bit more work to get implemented, and now I have to actually configure each of these textures in the inspector here as need be, so I can associate the different footstep sounds with the specific texture. So whenever the player is on one of these textures, it'll play the respective footstep sound that goes with it. So needless to say, by the time the game is finished, who knows, I may have 100 different items in here, but for the time being, I'll hopefully try to keep it clean and add them as I need them and just keep it to a minimum. So, excuse me, now when the player actually walks on a surface, the raycast will detect which surface they're on and play that play the respective sound that goes with it if the texture is set up here. If there is no texture for the item that we're walking on, I have a default footstep sound here that we play instead. So this will be the one that you may have heard in past videos or whenever we walk on a surface that it's appropriate for, or does not have one assigned to it, a texture assigned to it, that is. Then we will just play the default footstep sound. So as you can see here, or hear here rather, we get our grass sound and hop over to the dirt, and we get our dirt sound. So it works on terrain, it works on meshes, it works on anything that we can physically walk on as long as a texture can be applied to it. So we'll hop up here, for example, and we'll go hop on these platforms, which I know I have not configured a texture for, obviously. As soon as I can get up, and you can hear now, we get our default footstep sound because I don't have a texture configured here. Plus, the platform looks like it's hard, so it would probably be an appropriate sound to play here anyway. So yeah, one item I'm really proud of, one thing that I think will really help immersion, and one thing that often does go overlooked in games, but the minute a game doesn't have one, suddenly it feels very artificial. So that being said, here we'll hop back over to the test scene now, the old infamous test scene that's been in every other video dev blog since. To show you my dialogue system improvement, so to speak. I originally put off doing this until the Unity GUI was out, but after having played with the Unity 4.6 GUI beta, I'm not too impressed with what it has to offer, and I'd rather stick with using NGUI since I know how to do everything I can in there. So yeah, again here, just playing with the texture sounds. Oh, I also added lava. Typical hazard type item here, nothing special except you hit it, and obviously you take the damage, so just another little obstacle to get in the way. So before I get to the dialogue, I have a new item here which will launch the player when you hop in. Excuse me again. It's set on a set rotation, obviously. I played around with the idea of having the player aim it, but I really couldn't get it working the way I wanted. So right now it's not activated, so it's not going to work. So we'll come over here and talk to this guy. Okay, we don't have 10 coins, not a big deal. So one of the things in my dialogue is I check for specific elements and then branch off the dialogue based off of what's going on there. Again, all this is being done with NGUI at the moment. There's no third-party dialogue system here. It's all basically a fancy coroutine that branches off into other ones based off of the specific variables that we have in play here. So we got our coins, so now we get our choice. No, we don't want to activate it. Not sure why I got that error down there. Have to play with that later. Stupid little thing, doesn't affect the game at all. But right now our launcher's still not active. So let's come back here. Alright, let's activate it this time. He takes our 10 coins and we're activated. So now when we hop in, we get fired out. So that'll add some elements to the gameplay as well. Kind of akin to the Mario 64 cannon and talking to the Babam to unlock it. It's only going to cost you with this guy now. So we talk to him again. We've already activated it, nothing else he can do for us. I've also added a power-up card here. a firefighter that I talked about doing perhaps in past videos. Not quite sure if it ever came up, but it was something that I did want to implement at some point, possibly. Oh, I found a bug here while I'm working here, so apparently we still deduct the coins after we've already activated it, so that'll have to be fixed. I'm sure it's just a stupid little if statement I gotta put in there. So anyway, we hop in our fire here. Oh, we don't like fire, and we die. So fire is not good, we can't get through it, but if we activate our firefighter, oh, we can walk right through it. In addition, I think I set up the firefighter here to not take damage from this as well, right? So, although he bounces on lava, looks stupid, gonna work on that, but just the premise here that the firefighter itself will allow you to walk through fire and basically act as a gate, so to speak, to restrict you until you have the power-up. I'm not sure if you saw, but these power-up cards now respawn. Upon collecting them, they go transparent. So much like when they're deactivated, but as soon as the timer's up and we respawn, the card comes back and we can... Oops, another bug. Perhaps I should have a look through this. Oh, that's what it was, the renderer while in first person mode, and that expired. Another bug I'll have to fix, but minor, to say the least. So yeah, activated the power-up cards. Obviously collecting them and then never having them come back could cause some issues in the scenes and the obstacles in case you mess up. So went ahead and added a respawn timer to those as well. Again, just a simple bool I added, or a float that I've added in here to basically, say that respawn after so many seconds. So with that, I've also encountered another issue. Let's actually hop back to the first level over here. And I had a bonus area. I think I showed that off in a previous video where you come in here and it takes you to a bonus area. Well, I found out that obviously changing scenes, we lose all the coins and all the progress we've made in the level. I don't want to have the player leave the level just to come back and find out he's got to recollect all the coins, push all the boxes and things like that. So I looked into, I forget the word here, persisting, there we go, persisting the data upon scene change, but there was just way too much and way too much of a hassle. So I kind of had a little... I don't want to say ghetto workaround, but I think it's something that's exercised in games and often not really, you don't put focus on it. But I've gone ahead and moved the bonus area here into the same level that we're already in. So you can see here's our bonus area, and it's just like it was in the other scene, only now it's in the same scene as the level that we're in. So this will make it much easier for me to implement other gameplay elements and whatnot into this scene while still maintaining that feel that you're going to a whole new area, because upon entering the scene change here, I do actually, as soon as I can figure out where, no, that's not it, my actual teleporter is, nope, that's not it. That is it. So upon entering this guy here, I teleport you to a new destination, a game object I define within the, the level or within the scene. I update the respawn position, so if you die in that level, that will be your new respawn. Wherever you teleport to, in this case, it would be this start area here. This will be your new respawn in case you die here. And one other thing to make it really feel like you were changing scenes here is to change the skybox. So let's give that a test now as soon as I move my player back. But yeah, I have an option here to update the skybox, update the respawn, so that basically it can feel like the player is going to a whole new area, and while more importantly maintaining their current progress in the level. So we will fire this up here, and I'll show you the seamless transition. Alright, we hop in, we go in our level, it feels like a scene change, I still have the same fade out effect, and here we are. Oh, look at this, we're in a whole new area. We can't see our other one because of the clipping planes on the camera, so it really feels like we're in a whole new area. So if we come down here and die, for example, we respawn right here. So you got to complete this to get out. I may implement something to get you out of here and go back to the other scene, but until then, this will have to suffice. The last thing that I've added here, we'll actually hop back out, is just something minor, something again akin to my often referenced Mario 64. What can I say? It's the platformer that really defined platformers for me, and that is a water control switch. So So we hop in here. Alright, so we got a trampoline in this body of water down there. We can't use trampolines underwater, so how do we bounce up to the bounce from the trampoline to get back up to the, excuse me there, to get up to that platform with the coins? Well, we hit our switch, and drain occurs. So we'll hop over here, and you'll see now our water is draining out. So basically this is just a script that I have to update the Y position of the water to say while that water, or I shouldn't have exited here, upon the water draining, move the Y position down, or I should say lerp Y position down here. We can see our body of water. Here's a little behind the scenes. Our plane and the entire body itself is in fact moving downward. So again, that's just a simple lerp effect I have going on here, which will now allow our player to hop in that body of water. Another little change here too is I changed the dive jump length. I didn't want the player just doing this to get around everywhere, so I've made it a little shorter, make it less obvious to want to use that to get everywhere instead. Oh, we shouldn't have that popping up either. So now our trampoline works. We can come up here, we can get our card, and with that being said, that'll wrap up everything for Video Dev Blog Volume 5, and we'll see you again soon.